Me and Dan Rule, we gonna run it.
Oh, like can't forget about Dan Rule.
I like that.
We gonna run it from a dig, bro.
He don't race from a dig though.
He gonna have to race from a dig for me.
We got the best team. We do everything. We do rolls, digs, everything. And we got cars for days. Any day you want to lock in your car, you could lock it in, like I said. And I refer to Waterboy, Hezzy.
Visconti's the coach, Pepper's the star player, Hezzy's the water boy.
Andre Beetle, widely recognized online as 1Stockf30, was a rising name in the digital automotive world. His content, fast-paced, mechanical, and consistently pushing limits, drew thousands of viewers and followers who tuned in regularly to watch what he would do next. His platform wasn't built on personality alone. It was built on precision driving, technical upgrades, and documented speeds that turned heads across the street racing community. In recent months, his presence became more than entertainment. For some, it was instructional. For others, aspirational. His videos chronicled everything from track prep to late-night city runs, recorded, edited, and posted in a way that made the viewer feel like they were in the passenger seat. Each upload came with speed, risk, and often a warning. Still, the appeal was in the unknown. Every video left questions. How fast could he go? What was next? Then came an upload gap. No teaser. No story post. No hint of what might have happened. Fans speculated. Some assumed burnout. Others guessed a surprise build or a quiet project in the works. But behind the silence, something had shifted. The final piece of content from Beetle's page remains unchanged. No cryptic caption. No farewell. Just a continuation of the fast-moving narrative he had built, and a timestamp that would later take on a different meaning. What unfolded in the early hours of November morning left viewers searching for answers in previous videos, trying to piece together the hours before it happened. The location was familiar. The vehicle was unmistakable, but the outcome had never been part of the script. What led to that moment wasn't captured on camera, but what followed would echo far beyond his follower count. And for many, the real story was just beginning. If you enjoy real crime stories that uncover the truth, don't forget to subscribe. Your support helps us share real cases, spread awareness, and give a voice to those who can't speak for themselves. Before we begin, let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? And what are your thoughts as the story unfolds? Welcome to True Crime Uncovered, where we examine the cases that shake communities and expose what happens behind closed doors. Real stories, real people, real impact. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Andre Beetle, known to most as 1Stockf30, was a 25-year-old automotive content creator based in the Bronx, New York. His niche focused on high-performance BMW content, including street racing footage, vehicle modifications, and track footage. Beetle's digital reach spanned across YouTube, where he had over 59,000 subscribers, and Instagram, where he maintained a following of over 240,000. His uploads often involved detailed breakdowns of engine upgrades, exhaust systems, tuning, and performance tests, presented in a clear and technical manner. His online presence was not limited to social media platforms. He was frequently discussed in local forums, such as Bimmer Post and Reddit's F30 threads, where viewers and car enthusiasts analyzed his builds and debated the legality or safety of some of his modifications. Beetle was also loosely connected with several prominent names in the New York car scene, many of whom had appeared in his videos or shared clips of his vehicles. His audience, drawn to speed and technical precision, regularly commented on his videos with suggestions and challenges. It is worth considering whether this feedback loop influences decisions, including riskier content, higher speeds, and racing in more unpredictable environments. While he maintained a calculated persona, the increasingly extreme nature of his stunts suggests a deliberate pivot to satisfy viewer demand. In the weeks leading up to the incident, Beetle maintained a consistent presence online. His daily routine appeared centered around car content, test drives, late-night drives, editing sessions, and garage work. Footage from his story showed him working on his BMW sedan with visible recent upgrades, new coilovers, performance tires, and a retuned ECU. He also showcased dyno test results and teased a new turbo system. His final 3 video uploads included a late-night highway test run, a 0 to 60 acceleration demo, and behind-the-scenes look at installing a downpipe. In one Instagram story, he referenced final tweaks before taking it out one more time, though it is unclear that posts directly refer to drive on the night of crash. Friends and fellow racers commented on forum threads and post replies in the days prior, hinting that Beetle had been preparing for a high-performance drive, possibly part of a meetup or challenge. His tone and social content remained casual, but he appeared increasingly focused on peak performance metrics. While there were no public signs of stress or fatigue, the consistency and frequency of content uploads raised questions about burnout. His channel analytics were climbing, which may have created pressure to escalate his content, particularly in terms of speed and scale. This environment may have played a role in his decision-making process on the night of the crash. The vehicle involved in the crash was a 2023 BMW sedan, widely believed to be a modified M240i. Visual analysis from past videos and crash scene photos shows custom wheels, an upgraded exhaust system, low-profile performance tires, and likely engine modifications. Beetle's car had been showcased in multiple videos detailing ongoing upgrades. Components include a sport-tuned suspension system, high-flow downpipes, a possible ECU remap, and reinforced brake calipers. While none of these are inherently unsafe when installed correctly, they can alter the handling and power output dramatically, especially when pushed to high speeds. Insurance and ownership status remain undisclosed, though comment on a previous video suggests the vehicle was fully owned and registered under his name. No open recalls or repair issues were publicly reported, but no formal maintenance history has been released. An important consideration is whether certain modifications disable built-in safety features, such as electronic stability control, ABS assist, or traction control. If such systems were bypassed for performance purposes, it could have compromised the vehicle's response during emergency handling. The crash occurred at approximately 1:12 a.m. on November 6, 2024. Beetle was driving eastbound on the Nassau Expressway near JFK Airport. The area is known for long, open stretches of road with minimal traffic during off-peak hours, conditions often favored by street racers. Weather records from that night indicate dry conditions with low visibility due to ambient fog. The road surface was clear, but slightly damp in some areas due to humidity. Visibility was estimated to be reduced, but not severely enough to halt driving. Witnesses reported hearing a loud engine revving before observing the BMW moving at extremely high speed. One driver traveling in the opposite direction noted that Beetle's vehicle appeared to drift slightly before correcting, shortly before it veered off the roadway. Surveillance footage from a nearby parking structure captured partial movement of a vehicle matching Beetle's car. The footage was grainy but confirmed the speed and trajectory consistent with witness reports. According to the NYPD's preliminary investigation, the vehicle left the right shoulder, struck a metal pole, rebounded across the lanes, and came to rest facing westbound. Beetle was ejected from the vehicle. Emergency responders arrived within minutes. Beetle was transported to Jamaica Hospital Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. Reports confirm he was not wearing a seatbelt, though this has not been officially verified. The NYPD Highway Collision Investigation Squad remains in charge of the case. There is no confirmation that another vehicle was directly involved. It remains uncertain whether this was an informal race, a solo test run, or a recorded segment for content creation. No official footage from Beetle's dashboard or camera system has been released, and no third-party recordings have emerged showing the incident in full. Speculation persists over whether law enforcement had observed the vehicle prior to crash, given past reports of coordinated street racing activity in the area. No evidence has been presented to confirm that police or aerial units were pursuing or tailing him at the time. The information outlined above raises critical questions that remain unanswered. Was this a calculated test gone wrong, or an impulsive moment taken too far? Were there warning signs in the weeks leading up to the incident? Was the vehicle's build fully stable under the conditions he was driving in? With multiple angles still under review, from technical failure to human error, viewers are left to consider, what part did the digital world play in shaping the decisions made that night? And more importantly, what does this story reveal about the increasing intersection of content, speed, and consequence in today's automotive influencer culture? Following the high-speed crash on the Nassau Expressway, first responders arrived within minutes. The vehicle, a 2023 BMW sedan, sustained catastrophic damage. The front end was nearly unrecognizable, showing severe crumpling where it collided with a fixed metal pole. The passenger side was heavily compressed, and the roof exhibited partial collapse due to impact rotation. Ejection of the driver indicated a failure or non-use of restraints at the time of the crash. Skid marks and impact points suggested an immediate loss of control at high velocity. Nearby, investigators recovered several items. Among them were a DSLR camera with a windshield mount, a memory card partially dislodged, and a GoPro-like device not actively recording at the time. Personal effects included a phone, wallet, car keys, and a racing glove. No alcohol containers or controlled substances were visible in or around the car. A laptop bag and small toolkit were recovered from the trunk, suggesting possible mechanical work prior to the event. The crash disrupted early morning traffic along the eastbound lanes of the expressway. The area was cordoned off with emergency vehicles present for several hours. Helicopter footage from a local media outlet showed the crushed vehicle and debris scattered over 2 lanes. Several bystanders were seen filming on phones, and footage began circulating online within hours, although no video captured the moment of impact itself. Jamaica Hospital Medical Center confirmed that Beetle was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Medical staff reported severe blunt force trauma as the immediate cause of death, with no signs of survival beyond ejection. The NYPD issued a brief public statement later that day, confirming the identity of the victim and citing a single-vehicle accident under investigation. They withheld further detail pending full forensic analysis. Initial social media reactions ranged from shock to speculation. Fans began posting tributes, often tagging his last known posts and commenting with questions. Forums and car communities debated whether the crash was part of an informal race or a solo incident. Many noted the unusual absence of a posted video or live stream on the night of the incident, a departure from his documented habit of uploading footage within hours of a major outing. The lack of published media led to further questions. Was a recording device removed? Were any files deleted on-site or withheld? As of the time of reporting, no official footage from inside the car or a dash cam has been released by investigators or recovered by the public. The NYPD Highway Collision Investigation Squad took the lead in the case. Investigators arrived with scene analysts and accident reconstruction experts within hours. Drone mapping, tire impression scanning, and 3D terrain modeling were used to reconstruct the car's trajectory, estimating a high-velocity rightward swerve followed by a hard impact and rotation. Toxicology tests were ordered as standard protocol. Preliminary findings were not made public, and confirmation status remained pending. No paraphernalia suggesting intoxication was recovered at the scene. The autopsy, conducted at the Office of Chief Medical Examiner, listed cause of death as multiple blunt force injuries consistent with ejection and high-speed trauma. The vehicle's event data recorder, commonly referred to as a black box, was retrieved and analyzed by both NYPD technicians and BMW technical consultants. The module contained key metrics including throttle position, braking patterns, steering input, and vehicle speed in the seconds before impact. Though not publicly released, internal reports confirmed a period of sustained acceleration immediately before the crash. Search warrants were executed shortly after the incident. Digital subpoenas were issued to access Beetle's YouTube drafts, private video storage accounts, and device contents. His garage was also visited by investigators seeking insight into vehicle modifications and any recent repairs or upgrades. Insurance investigators from the vehicle's provider coordinated with authorities. BMW's North American technical team was consulted regarding factory safety systems, including traction control and collision avoidance features. It remained unclear whether any systems were manually disabled or bypassed by the driver or through modification. An active line of questioning emerged. Was the crash a standalone loss of control or part of a broader, potentially unlawful street racing activity? No secondary vehicle was confirmed on-site, but forensic analysis continued to determine whether rubber marks or debris suggested the presence of another car. Despite public calls for transparency, full crash footage was not released. Police cited ongoing investigative needs and respect for procedural integrity. This decision only increased public curiosity and speculation. Close associates offered limited public statements. A few fellow YouTubers and car content creators issued brief tributes, often without addressing details of the crash itself. Several online accounts known to have collaborated with Beetle deactivated or went private within 48 hours of the announcement. Leaked private messages and group chats surfaced in the days following. In one unconfirmed exchange, a peer expressed concern over Beetle's recent pushing too hard for the view's behavior. Others mentioned an increase in solo night drives and an intent to attempt a record top speed in upcoming videos. These exchanges were not officially verified, but circulated widely across automotive forums. There were no reports of conflict in his personal life, but sources close to his circle noted a level of isolation in the weeks before the crash. Several hinted at an internal debate about escalating risk levels for content purposes. No intervention or formal effort to stop his behavior was reported. Family members issued a brief statement through a third party. The message acknowledged his death, requested privacy, and made no reference to his online activities. It remained unclear how much his family knew about the details of his street racing content or high-speed ventures. A public balloon release memorial took place on November 8, 2024, in Hafen Park, Bronx. Attended by fans, friends, and several influencers, the event included no formal speeches. Attendees brought posters and wore merchandise associated with his channel. Video from the event was shared widely but was not officially endorsed by his family. Behind the tributes, discussions in private circles pointed to a growing concern that his content had begun exceeding safe limits. Conversations about whether signs were missed or warnings ignored dominated the background of public mourning. Questions remained. Did anyone in his inner circle attempt to stop the risk escalation? Were creators and fans indirectly encouraging increasingly hazardous stunts? Was there a turning point where this outcome could have been prevented? The aftermath of Andre Beetle's death triggered a split within his digital audience. On one side, followers flooded comment sections with tributes, praising him as a pioneer in the online automotive world. His fan base treated him as a cultural icon, one who brought visibility to street racing culture and performance tuning. They reshared his most watched videos, posted edited montages with music overlays, and revived hashtags linked to his brand. Simultaneously, another segment raised concerns. Critics questioned the influence of content that openly featured speeding on public roads, non-compliant modifications, and disregard for road safety laws. In Reddit discussions, opinions were divided. Threads under racing subreddits and influencer forums debated whether such content crossed ethical boundaries. Some argued that his driving encouraged illegal racing, especially among viewers who lacked his level of experience or vehicle control. Others maintained that responsibility rested with the individual viewer, not the creator. Following widespread media coverage, YouTube and Instagram reportedly reviewed his most recent uploads. While no official statement was made, certain videos became demonetized or age-restricted. Ad revenue visibility dropped, and some posts disappeared without explanation. Users noticed that previously trending reels and clips were no longer searchable by exact title, raising questions about content moderation in the wake of creator deaths linked to real-world consequences. Unauthorized reuploads emerged quickly. Pages on TikTok and YouTube Shorts began sharing archive footage under vague usernames, often edited to emphasize dangerous maneuvers. Many of these videos lacked disclaimers and were monetized through trending soundtracks or third-party sponsorships. This led to accusations of exploitation, content being reused to attract engagement, clicks, and income despite the context of Beetle's passing. Several creators attempted to profit indirectly from the event. Reaction videos surfaced, not only reviewing the crash but dissecting his build specs, top speeds, and hypothetical driving errors. These videos featured affiliate links, brand partnerships, and pinned comment promotions, turning a fatal incident into profitable content. Speculation intensified around unreleased footage. Followers noticed abrupt gaps in his upload schedule before the crash. Some speculated that his GoPro or dashcam may have captured the final moments. Rumors also circulated about deleted Instagram stories that might have revealed where he was heading that night. No confirmed footage has surfaced to date, but the interest remains high across forums. A concerning trend emerged, viewers attempting to replicate his style. Street racing clips appear with captions referencing Beetle or mimicking his angles and edits. Enthusiasts claimed they were honoring him by continuing the drive. These actions raised alarms over whether the platform algorithms were still rewarding high-speed driving with increased visibility. This opens a broader question. Are platforms doing enough to stop this cycle? Despite content guidelines, speed-centered videos often still appear on explore pages or recommended tabs. Speed, thrill, and risk appear to remain engagement drivers, even when linked to tragic outcomes. The core legal question is whether any party, platform, brand, or individual could be held accountable for enabling or encouraging dangerous content. Some legal analysts raise the issue of influencer liability. Could creators who document unlawful or unsafe behavior be subject to legal action if it results in death or injury? While Beetle died alone, the nature of his influence on others, especially minors, is part of ongoing debate. There is no current federal law regulating influencer content that encourages illegal driving behaviors, but local jurisdictions are beginning to examine the issue. Authorities have increased scrutiny on street racing creators. City officials in New York and other major metros have introduced legislation targeting underground racing and social media broadcasts that promote it. Beetle's case may serve as a catalyst for tighter restrictions and enforcement, especially in urban areas where public safety has been compromised. Automakers are also indirectly implicated. BMW, the brand Beetle favored, is prominently featured in dozens of racing-related channels. While manufacturers typically maintain distance from how vehicles are used in social media, critics argue that when a car becomes the centerpiece of illegal activity online, it creates a marketing feedback loop, even unintentionally. Another legal question arises. Can content that glorifies illegal racing be punished posthumously? Currently, there is no framework for regulating creators' content after their death, even if that content is proven to have violated laws. Once a creator passes, control often defaults to next of kin or remains publicly viewable without moderation. This raises a final issue. What limits, if any, should platforms impose when lives are lost due to content creation? Should YouTube or Meta restrict high-risk categories, flag accounts involved in active police investigations, or prevent monetization of illegal activities regardless of popularity? Many aspects of Beetle's final hours remain unconfirmed. Law enforcement has not released his phone records or personal messages. No DMs or private conversations have been shared publicly, despite requests from both media and investigators seeking clues into his state of mind or intent. Some speculate the crash may have had alternate causes. While speeding is the official cause, theories range from mechanical failure to an unseen obstacle. Questions remain about whether another car was present and left the scene, possibly a competitor or unknown witness. There's no documented evidence that Beetle voiced fear or reconsidered his content style before the crash. However, sources close to his circle hinted that he had concerns about the risks of filming on public roads. These concerns, if true, were not reflected publicly. No unreleased video of the crash has been found, but viewers continue to search his known filming spots and timestamps, hoping to identify the route or behavior before the incident. Without confirmed footage, the timeline leading up to the crash remains partially speculative. Was he racing? Was he testing modifications? Was he simply driving home? These are questions with no official answers. The broader issue remains. What message does this event send to influencers in high-risk categories? Does risk equal reward, or does visibility encourage escalation? Andre Beetle's legacy is now debated. Some define him by his innovation in car content and mastery of editing. Others view him as a cautionary example of how platform culture can fuel reckless actions. His death adds to a growing list of creators whose high-stakes content ended fatally. Digital fame has blurred the line between entertainment and endangerment. When clicks and likes reward increasingly extreme behavior, how should the creator community respond? Content creation no longer exists in isolation. The audience is no longer passive. They comment, recreate, repost, and replicate. Every piece of footage becomes part of a larger cycle. In cases like Beetle's, that cycle ends in death. This case reintroduces an essential question for platforms, viewers, and creators. When the digital thrill crosses a line into real-world tragedy, who is truly responsible? And when the line is finally crossed, what comes next? If you found this story as gripping and heartbreaking as we did, don't forget to like this video and share it with others. And if you want to hear more true crime stories that uncover the mysteries behind these tragic events, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss our latest stories, updates, and discussions. Thank you for joining us on this journey to seek justice and explore the truth. Together, we can make a difference. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware.